Hi everyone, welcome to the video instructions on modeling and finite element laboratory. This is instruction video number 6. Topic covered in this video is static analysis of two-dimensional problems continued from previous video instruction. Problem number 49 in the MFE lab manual. Determine the location and magnitude of maximum on-mimesis stress in a plate as shown in figure. Also find the stress concentration factor. Use mapped mesh with element size of 2 mm or less. See, in the problem statement itself, it is clearly mentioned to use mapped mesh and you have to use element size of 2 mm or less than that. And you can see the problem sketch. There is a reflective symmetry, so you need to model only top half or bottom half, or you can model the full plate. Since the element size is very less, it is better to model only half of the problem so that you can save the memory required, or time required also will be less. And for this problem, the nominal stress is F by minimum area of cross section. F is pressure into area. Pressure is 110 Newton per mm square, and the area where it is acting is width into thickness, that is 50 into 5. Minimum area is D into T. D is nothing but 50 minus 16, because radius of the cutout is 8 mm. So if you divide force by minimum area, you get a nominal stress of 161.765 megapascal. This is a nominal stress which will be required for calculating the stress concentration factor. Stress concentration factor K sigma is sigma x max, which will be obtained from ANSYS, divided by this nominal stress. First, let us set the preferences to structural. Element type, choose the first solid element, quad 4 node 182, and choose the element behavior as plane stress with thickness. Now go to real constants and add the thickness of the plate. Thickness of the plate is 5 mm. Enter 5 mm here. Go to material properties, structural, linear, elastic, isotropic. Young's modulus is 210. So 210 E3. Poisson's ratio is 0.3. Then create the geometry. Create rectangle by two corners. You can enter the width as 80 mm and height as 25 mm. And I have to create a cutout here because I am modeling the top half. So in order to create the cutout, I have to create a circle first. So solid circle, and center of the solid circle will be at 40 mm x distance. Y will be 25 mm. Radius of the circle is 8. It's created. Now subtract that from the rectangle. Subtract areas. Select the rectangle. Click OK. Select the circle. Click OK. This is a geometry that we are going to work on, but this has to be divided now according to the mesh requirements, mapped mesh requirements. We have to divide this. So I'll divide it like this now. First, I will create a line normal to line option, normal to this line. From this point, I created a line. Then I'll make this approximately a square here and another approximate square here. So I'll create key points at appropriate location. So on this line, I want to place a key point somewhere here, and on this line, I want to place a key point somewhere here. Then I can use the normal to line option. Lines, normal to line, normal to this line, click OK. From this point, apply. Normal to this line, click OK. From this key point, click OK. Now I have to create a key point here and draw lines like this. So to create key point here, go to key point on line, select this line, select approximately the midpoint of the arc, select this line, click OK, select approximately the midpoint of the arc. OK. Then lines, you draw the lines between this key point and this key point, this key point and this key point. So dividing lines are drawn now. I have to divide the area. Go to operate, booleans, divide area by line, select the rectangle, click OK, select all the dividing lines, those lines which we have created now. It is dividing. Now it is divided. If you want to check, you can switch on the area numbers on, and say plot areas. You can see they are all different areas now, and all areas are having only 4 sides. So you can map mesh it. So go to meshing, mesh tool, global set, element edge length we have to use 2 mm or less than that. So let us use 2 mm element edge length, click OK. Quadrilateral, change it to mapped, click OK, mesh, pick all. So this is the mesh that is required now. It is a mapped mesh with the element size of 2 mm, globally controlled. Now we have to give the boundary conditions. One of the boundary condition is symmetric boundary condition. So go to structural displacement, symmetric BC on lines. On these lines there are 4 lines in total. So select all the 4 lines and give symmetric BC. You can see S symbol here indicating that symmetric boundary condition is applied. And displacement on lines, this line is totally constrained. So constrain all degrees of freedom for this line. Then I have to apply a pressure here. Minus 110 megapascal is the pressure. So go to pressure on lines, select this line, click OK and enter minus 110 MPa. So pressure is also applied. Now I can solve it. Solve, current load step, click OK, close. You can read the last set of result. Go to plot results, deformed shape, deformed plus undeformed. This will give you the deformed shape. If you want the contour plot of deformed shape, you can go here and select deformation vector sum. This is the maximum deformation location. If you want stresses, any component of stress can be chosen. Let us say I want von Mises stress. Select this, click OK. You can see maximum von Mises stress is here and minimum von Mises stress is here. Let us plot the sigma x value. So sigma x, see sigma x is maximum here corresponding to 340.3 MPa, and here small amount of compressive stress minus 2.8 megapascal. We are supposed to find out the maximum von Mises stress location and magnitude. So let us use query results option. Query results, subgrid solution, stress, von Mises, click OK. See, you can click on this maximum here. It identifies the maximum stress location. Node number 307 and corresponding coordinates are given here, and the value of von Mises stress is also given here. You can click on this generate 3D annotation, click OK. It shows like this. So this is how I show the location and magnitude of maximum von Mises stress. We have to find out the stress concentration factor also, for which we need sigma x maximum value. I can delete the annotation that is created. So go to annotation, delete annotation. That annotation is deleted now. Now I can go for plotting the sigma x value, sigma x, and I can go for query results, subgrid solution, sigma x, click OK and click on this max. It shows the value of sigma x maximum, which is 340.327. So Sx maximum is 340.327 megapascal. Stress nominal, which is calculated in the previous slide, is 161.76 megapascal. If you take the ratio of Sx max and S nominal, you get 2.1. That is the stress concentration factor. This is problem number 50. Solve the following problem using symmetric model with mapped mesh approach. Determine the maximum deformation and stress. Preferences, structural Okay. Element type solid 182, plane stress with thickness, real constants, thickness is 0.05 meter. I'm trying to model everything in terms of meters now. Material properties, material models, structural, linear, elastic, isotropic. Young's modulus is 210 gigapascal, so 210 E9. Poisson's ratio is 0.3. And modeling, create areas, rectangle by two corners. Width of the rectangle is 1.2192 plus 0.3048 by 2. Height is 0.3048. This is a rectangle. Another rectangle I should model to create the cutout, which has x coordinate 1.2192, y is 0, and height can be 0.127. It's created here. I have to subtract this rectangle from this. Go to operate, subtract areas. From this rectangle I want to subtract this rectangle. This is a symmetric model that I created. Let us use map mesh for this also. Appropriately let us divide this. So create lines, normal to line option, normal to this line, from this point, normal to this line, from this point. Now we'll divide this, divide area by line, select the area, select these two dividing lines, and meshing, go to mesh, global set, you give a element edge length of, let us say, 0.05 mm, mapped mesh, pick all. It is a very coarse mesh. Let us go for finer mesh. So let us change this element size to maybe 0.01, mesh again, remesh. This is the kind of mesh that I can use. Go to boundary conditions, structural, displacement on lines. Left side lines are to be constrained completely because it is fixed there. And there is a symmetric boundary condition on lines, on this line. Symmetric boundary condition is applied. And there is a pressure load on top edge. So go to pressure on lines, select this line. There is one more line here. Click OK and enter the pressure as 0.344738 megapascal. This has to be positive because it is towards the geometry. Click OK. You can see the pressure direction. Solve this. Solution is done. Go to general post processor, read results, last set, plot results, nodal solution, DOF solution, displacement vector sum. See, maximum displacement is happening here. Magnitude of maximum displacement is so much, 0.169 into 10 power minus 9 meter. Very small deformation. Maximum deformation we got. Maximum stress we can get. Maximum stress. Here it's better to go for one mesh stress. One mesh stress maximum is 25.48 Newton per meter square. So we got both maximum deformation and maximum stress also. Next problem, a long steel pipe of internal and external diameters 50 mm and 80 mm respectively contains a fluid at a pressure of 1 megapascal. Obtain the radial and hoop stress distribution. Take E is equal to 200 gigapascal and nu is equal to zero point 0.3. You can see the cylinder here. It is a long pipe. Internal pressure of 1 megapascal is loaded. We have to obtain sigma r and sigma theta distribution. You can solve this problem in two ways. First way is to model it as a plane strain case because it's a long pipe. Strains along the length of the pipe can be neglected. We need to model only the annulus circle, and annulus circle is symmetric about two planes, so you need to model only 1/4 of the annulus circle. So this green color area is what you need to model for plane strain case. Set the preferences to structural, element type, solid 182. Go to options and change this element behavior to plane strain because you are modeling a area which is connected to long pipe, so you have to choose this as plane strain case. Then no real constants for this. Go to material models, structural, linear, elastic, isotropic. Young's modulus is 200 gigapascal, 200 E3. Poisson's ratio is 0.3. And create the model. It is partial annulus circle. So go to areas, circle, partial annulus. You create the radius 1 as 25, inner radius, theta 1 0, radius 2 as 40 and theta 2 90. When I enter theta 2 90, I get a sector of 90 degree. So this is the area that I get. I can go for mapped meshing directly because it's an area with 4 sides. I can set some element size. Let us say I want to set 2 mm element size. Quadrilateral mapped mesh, select. This is the mesh I get, and now I have to give the boundary conditions. Go to loads, apply structural displacement, and I have to give symmetric PC on lines. Select this line and also this line because those are the lines where the geometry is symmetric, and apply the pressure of 1 megapascal at the inner surface. That should be towards the geometry, so it is +1. And solve it. Solution is done. General post processor, read results, last set, plot results, deformed shape. You can see the expansion, and you can get DOF solution, radial deformation. This radial deformation is shown in Cartesian coordinate system. So you have to change this result coordinate system to cylindrical coordinate system in order to get the appropriate distribution. So that is done here. You observe, go to options for output, results coordinate system, you change it to global cylindric, click OK, and just right click here and replot. See, now it is changed to radial deformation. See, deformation X component now is radial deformation. Deformation Y component is tangential deformation, which is very less. You can see it's of the order 10 power minus 10 and minus 11. So UR is this plot. And if you want stress, if I choose SX, it is radial stress now. This is the sigma R distribution. At the inner surface, we have given internal pressure of 1 megapascal. So radial stress should be equal to that at the inner surface. You can see it is 0.94. And this Y component of stress gives sigma theta. You can see sigma theta maximum is here. and outside surface it is 1.29 megapascal. So radial and hoop stress distribution for cylinders are always plotted across the thickness. I'll zoom this area. I'll go to plot nodes so that I can see the nodes along that thickness. Now observe how I plot the radial and hoop stress distribution across the thickness. Go to path operations, define path by nodes. Select these nodes along the thickness one by one in the proper sequence. So I selected all the nodes, click OK, give some name to it and give it as SSS. This is the path generated. Minimize this defined path, go to map onto path. On y-axis what you want, that you have to choose here. Select SX, apply, and also SY. I want both sigma r and sigma theta, so I am selecting both. Click OK. Now go to plot path item on graph. Now select those two items what I have chosen in the previous step. So select SX and SY, click OK. You can see the distribution like this. X-axis is distance, that is the thickness. Thickness of the cylinder is 15 mm, so X-axis is total 15 mm. Y-axis is stress, and blue color curve indicates the radial stress Sx. The other curve represents the hoop stress. This can also be plotted on the geometry itself. Go to geometry, select Sx, click OK. This is on geometry, it is plotting. If you want to increase the scale, you can go give some scale, maybe 50 times with nodes. You can see this is how it is varying. This is a radial stress distribution. If you want tangential stress, select SY, you get tangential stress distribution. This is the plane strain case. Now let us try to solve this problem using axis symmetry case. For axis symmetry, you need to model the section of the cylinder, and always the axis of the cylinder should be y-axis. Whenever you are modeling axis symmetry case, your section should be symmetric about y-axis. That is a rule in ANSYS APDL. So we need to model a rectangle now, because rectangular section, when I revolve about y-axis, I get the cylinder. But here the length of the pipe is not given, so I am assuming a length of 100 mm here. But the inner radius is 25 mm and width is nothing but wall thickness. So I have to generate this now. Preprocessor, structural, okay, element type, solid, 182. Go to options, change the element behavior to axis symmetric. This is very important step now. Axis symmetric element behavior we are choosing. No real constants for this. Go to material models, structural, linear, elastic, isotropic. Young's modulus is 200 gigapascal, that is 2E5. Poisson's ratio is 0.3. Go to modeling. See, now the geometric model used for axis symmetric case is different than the plane strain case. Now I have to model a rectangle about y-axis. Go to areas, rectangle by two corners. Give x as 25 and width as 15 mm. This is the wall thickness. And height can be anything. I can give it as 100 mm here. This is the inner radius. For inner radius of 25, it starts a rectangle of width 15 mm and height 100 mm. Click OK. You can see this is the inner radius I entered as x, 25 mm. This is the 15 mm wall thickness and this is 100 mm. Go to meshing now. Meshing, mesh tool. I'll use an element edge length of maybe 2 mm. Click OK. Quadrilateral mapped mesh. Select the rectangle. Click OK. This is the mesh I got. Next I can go for loads and boundary conditions. Apply. Displacement. See, I don't have to give, as I have chosen element behavior as axis symmetric. Software knows now that it is axis symmetric about y-axis. But in order to constrain the rigid body movement in y direction, I have to give uy0 for this edge. I have to give uy0 for this edge, otherwise problem will not be solved. So I have to give that boundary condition. Go to displacement on lines, select this line, Click OK. Select UI. Only UI. Means axial movement I am constraining, that's all. It can be radially displaced. So only this boundary condition you have to give and apply the internal pressure on this edge. So pressure on lines, select this line, click OK. The magnitude of the pressure is 1. Click OK. Pressure is applied. Solve it. Solve. Now go to general post processor, read results, last set. Go to plot results, deformed shape, deformed plus undeformed. These are radial deformation that you can see. Nodal solution. This is radial displacement that you get. And if you want stresses, you can go to SX. This is radial stress. This is a radial stress that I get. But now, if I want tangential stress, I should not select SY because SY is axial stress now because cylinder is modeled about Y axis. Axial direction is Y now. So SY is axial stress. SZ is tangential stress or hoop stress. You should not forget this. SZ is hoop stress in case of axisymmetric problems. Select SZ. And this is the hoop stress. You can see maximum stress is at the inner surface 2.2. Outer surface it is 1.29 MPa. If I want to plot the radial and hoop stress distribution, I have to create the paths. So I'll zoom this area. I'll say plot line nodes. I'll go for path operations, define path by nodes, pick all these nodes in sequence. Click OK, give some name, close this, go to map onto path, and in the Y axis I'll choose SX and SZ, not SY. Now I can go for path, plot path item on graph SX, SZ. You can see the same plot we obtained in case of plane strain also, but there it was SX and SY, but now it is SX and SZ. Next problem is a disc of uniform thickness and of diameter 600 mm rotates at 1800 rpm. If a hole of diameter 100 mm is made at the center of the disc, find the hoop stress in the section of the pipe. Also plot the variation of hoop and radial stresses across the thickness of the pipe for case A and case B. Case A is solid disc, case B is hollow disc. This is the problem. If I want to model it as axisymmetry case, my geometry will be only the rectangle of 250 mm width and height 10 mm, and that should be created at 50 mm from the Y axis. Rotation of 1800 rpm should be applied as inertia load, but it is in rpm. You have to convert it into radians per second. 1800 rpm is nothing but, according to the formula 2 pi n by 60 omega, you will get it as 60 pi. So 60 pi radians per second angular velocity has to be applied as load, and for calculating centrifugal effect you have to include density in the material model. First set the preferences to structural. Go to preprocessor element type, select solid 182, go to options and set it to axisymmetric case. You don't have to give any real constants. Material model, structural, linear, elastic, isotropic. Here it is better to give Young's modulus in Newton per meter square because we have to account omega in radians per second and density in kg per meter cube. So 200 E9 is a Young's modulus in Newton per meter square. Poisson's ratio is 0.3 and enter density value here 7700 kg per meter cube. Go to modeling, create, It's a simple rectangle of x should be 50, e minus 3 because I want to model it in meters. So 50 mm it is, and width is 250, 250 e minus 3, and height is 10 mm, so 10 e minus 3. This is a geometry that I have created. Then go to meshing, mesh tool, global element, its length you can set maybe 5 mm, 5 e minus 3. Go to quadrilateral map and mesh, select the area, click OK, mesh now. If you want you can go for finer mesh also. Go to loads, apply displacement. See, axis symmetry cases, the lower edge constrained along y direction, I constrain it, and go to inertia, angular velocity, global, along y, about y coordinate you have to apply the value which is 60 into pi. Pi is 22 by 7. So 60 into 22 by 7 is a omega value in radians per second. Click OK. You can see the double arrow here means angular velocity is applied, and solve it. Solution is done. Go to general post processor, read results, last set, go to plot results. Radial deformation is this, and radial stress if you want, Sx is the radial stress distribution. Unit of this is in Newton per meter square now, and Sz is a sigma theta distribution. This is what you get. If you want to expand this solution to full model, you can go to plot controls, style, symmetry expansion, 2D axis symmetric. I want 3/4 expansion, click OK. I'll go to isometric view, fit, you can see this is how the variation is. If you want, you can plot the full model also, or 1/4 or half, anything. If I want to animate deformed results, stress, von Mises stress, let us say. So this is how the stresses are developed for centrifugal force. For this problem, we can also plot hoop and radial stress distribution as we plotted for previous problem, and you have to solve a solid case also, means coordinate will be 0 while you create the rectangle. That's all for this video. Thank you.